The Ford Fiesta. Well, where do we begin with this one? I think it's fair to say the fact they've been around so long kind of speaks volumes. But I don't know whether the camera's going to pick this up, but I'm stationary now, and I'm in drive, but if I release the foot brake, you hear that groan. One more time. That's not the sound of a quality car. I really hope that came up. Well, it's Ford. Anybody thinking about buying one of these knows what Fords are like. They know what to expect, I think. But that's why I personally don't like Fords, because I just don't think they're very well put together. But I'm not going to be biased about this, because out of all the reviews I've got on YouTube and elsewhere, the Ford Fiesta happens to have the biggest hits, which is rather strange, but here we go. Right, we'll do a 0 to 60 test now. 3, 2, 1, go. This is the automatic, and the automatics are never good on small engine cars, and this is no exception. It's 60 miles an hour. Okay, well, as I was just saying, the engine is too undersized for a gearbox like this. The steering is very jittery and very responsive, I have to say. It really is. You move that steering wheel and the wheels move. There's no lag there at all, which is good because I very rarely get that in the car. Give it a bit of a wobble. It's quite a firm car. It tends to roll more than bounce, which could be a concern if you have to swerve at speed. The rear view vision, I have to say, is probably one of the best I've come across in cars for a long, long time. No obstructions there at all, which is amazing. The side mirrors are large, a lot of vision, but I have to say they are a little bit too low. They're right down here, which is no good because you have to move your head to look at them rather than just glance over with your eyes. They won't show up on the camera, but just on the armrest here where you have your electric window switches, for some reason they're very far back and you really have to make an effort to operate them. It's very strange, that. Not a good sign. The instrument cluster here I don't think is the greatest design, to be fair. It looks pretty cheap and tacky. Looks like a pair of binoculars, to be fair. A pair of binoculars out of a cracker, perhaps. But the speedo is easy to read, and it isn't that difficult to assimilate that. Now, the center console, I'm not too sure really what's going on here. It looks a little bit too confusing, to be honest. The idea of the center console is to be able to operate the functions without looking, and here I'd say you've got too much going on in one place, too many small buttons, and exactly the same for the heater controls down here. It's all more confusing. It's shaped more like a video arcade games machine, and that goes for the whole of the dash. The interior feels very sort of industrial and commercial. It's got that office furniture feel to it. Every bump I'm going over in the car now, I'm feeling it, and it also feels magnified, which is unpleasant. It gives me a headache after a while. Cornering, for such a small car, it does actually feel a bit top heavy. All in all, I can't say I'm too impressed with this particular model. The car feels cheap. It drives awful. It feels poorly put together. There's nothing about this car that speaks of longevity. Even though this one's very low mileage, I get the feeling from this car that it's just not going to last very long. It doesn't feel like it's been well put together. There's a lot of noise from the road. As I say, I'm feeling every bump that I go over. You know, I believe in saying a spade's a spade, and I'm afraid this car isn't getting a good review. It's not getting a good review because it doesn't deserve one. This car is bloody awful. There's no easy way or polite way to say it. If you're thinking about buying one of these cars, I would urge you very strongly not to. If you're really quite hell-bent on getting this particular Ford, then have a hunt around the different models, because this car is dreadful.